Hi, you're listening to The Comedian's Tea Party with Deaves. Fair warning, this podcast may contain adult content. It may not. I don't know. I never really have a plan. So let's listen on and find out. Hello, beautiful tea drinkers, and thank you so much for tuning back in. Appreciate I've been gone for a little while. I have been wildly busy, so apologies for anyone who's been waiting for the next episode of the podcast to come out. Had a couple of promotions at work, been a bigger workload there, so I've been busy. I've been buying a house. That was very time consuming. If anyone's ever bought a house, estate agents are, the estate agents weren't the bad ones. It was the solicitor who... I won't get into it. It was awful. But yeah, I've been busy. Very, very busy. I've been exhausted. I've also got a few other projects going on, a few other things which will come to light as the future goes on. But I'm back, and that is what is important. Now, I would like to say, first of all, a massive apology for my guest today. That is Rob Glenister, who, and the apology is not for him, to him, because we recorded this episode in July. So there's a couple of the references that we make through the episode no longer relevant. For instance, talk about a show that I did, which I performed several months ago. So don't worry about that, but I left it in because it's relevant to the conversation that leads on from there. I started editing this ages ago, just after we recorded it. And it also means that some of the notes that I made at the time, I don't know what they mean now. I've sort of read through it and I've listened to most of it again. But yeah, I don't know what it is. But still, Rob sings me a lovely song in the middle, which he improvises, so you should be excited for that. And he also, there's a little extra bonus song whilst I go for a wee. So look out for that. We talk about his time on dating shows, well, just the one, which was it was very funny, worth going to check out. I'm sure it's on YouTube or something. Talk about his other time on TV and his friendships with celebrities and that sort of thing. Tea today was supplied by the Good and Proper Tea Company, who make some delicious tea, and a huge thank you to them for sending me said tea. Very, very kind, very good tea. Go and check it out. The Good and Proper Tea Company. Oh, there's also a point towards the end where I say prophesized, and I was thinking of the word proffered and mixed it with the word hypothesized. Came out as the wrong word. That's what that is. When that comes up, that's what that is. So yeah, whilst the show that I talk about during the episode is no longer relevant, what is relevant is I'm going to be performing that show at Leicester Comedy Festival in February, which is going to be very, very fun. I'm really looking forward to it. I've got 2 shows up there on I want to say the 17th and 18th of February, links to which are on my website, sideage.com, so go and check that out. Please come. It's going to be really good. I'm very excited about the show. It's going very well. So, yeah, come and see that. That would be lovely. I've also got a few other things going on. If you live nearby, I'm going to be putting a show on in Southend, but I don't know when that is yet. It's going to be the same show. So if you're sort of in Essex, that's the one for you. Unless you want to come to Leicester, in which case, buy those tickets. They will be. I'll let you know when they're available on the next episode, which will be coming out at some point soon. Possibly next month, possibly going to be going to one a month. Might be every couple of weeks, might be every 3 weeks. Not sure at this point. Depends how quickly I can get them recorded and edited. Because like I say, I'm still busy. Nothing's gone down. If anything, I'm getting busier and busier all the time. But I love doing this. I love connecting with you guys. So here we are. So without further ado, enjoy the episode. I'll see you at the end. You didn't have to count in.
And yet, here we are, arriving perfectly on time.
I think you've greatly overestimated how professionally I do this. I mean, to the fact that... So, for the listeners, I forgot my laptop. So, I did this... I went to Cornwall and recorded an episode with a comedian called Daniel Triscott. And I realised when I got to Cornwall that I left my laptop at home. I went there for a gig, specifically. So, it was fine. I was still doing a gig. And I had, I've got a backup recorder in there that I should probably set up, really.
In case my house sets on fire mid-recording.
Yeah, so I had this and recorded the episode on this. Got away with it. But, Yeah, I've forgotten the most I've ever forgotten. I've forgotten the mugs, I've forgotten my laptop, I've forgotten my book with all the questions in it. But like, I forget a lot of things. Like, I forgot to hit record when I recorded with Jamie Lemon.
Right.
I was going to bring that up actually. Have you heard that episode? I'm just going to pop this on the side.
Yeah, I've seen the title. I love Jamie Lemon.
Yeah.
So like, I loved Rubin, and I really like Jamie's like solo stuff as well.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like, it's more the same. I feel like it's what Rubin would sound like if they were still going.
Yeah,
and maybe
if
had a
they just
slight
carried
lineup
on.
change.
Yeah.
You know? So all good. I like We're Not Is from my past stick at it. It's like they're doing like Hell Is for Heroes, 100 Reasons. They've announced a double headline.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Brixton Academy, which is insane because I saw many years ago. Is it? It's 100 Reasons headlining, right? Hell Is for Heroes support. Because I saw many years ago. Wait, I was 18,
Right.
so like 18 years ago, pretty much, and that was Hell Is for Heroes headline at London Astoria with the Lucky Nine. Supporting,
yeah. So that was
a
super group.
That was a super group with like Colin from 100 Reasons and that sort of thing. And then a few years after that, Colin came to do a talk at my old college in London,
Right.
which was a music college. And I said to him, like, oh yeah, I saw that gig. And he was like, oh, f***ing hell, man, that's one of like 3 gigs that we played. So I had no idea that it was that few. But
He saw a third of all their gigs.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an incredible fan, isn't it? Seeing a third of all their gigs.
It's pretty impressive. I'm loving all the gear coming alive now. It's like, at present we're using my studio, which is kind of mainly where I work from, and it's just not good enough for Si. He's got such a high kind of standards that he's setting up his own little backup recording in the middle of it.
I've got a backup just in case. I'm just going to roll that around there. The thing is, like, 90% of the time I've never used that, but I used to have an old interface that cut out all the time, so
Yeah.
I'd just like splice little bits in from the. Thing is, right now here's the issue. Obviously, this is the first. Otherwise, this wouldn't normally be a problem. Like, I'd have all my stuff at home. This is the first in-person interview I've recorded since like September.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
I feel quite honoured.
yeah,
I feel humbled.
First one out the other side of the lockdown.
Good. Oh, well, it's good. I've got my COVID pass, so that's all good. You know.
Have you got the proper passport thing?
Oh no, I haven't bothered with that. I just know I've been stabbed a couple of times in each. So I've had dead arm 1, dead arm 2, and then we're ready to go.
Did you feel ill from either of them?
It's just the arms aches.
Just a dead arm, yeah.
Yeah, but then I kind of went out and I was sort of. I went out drinking both days. It's like in the evening, so I was like, it couldn't have been like putting me down that much if I was ready to go nuts, you know.
Yeah, I just went straight to work, I think,
Yeah.
both times. But, no, I had work the following day. I had work the first one, and all I had was a dead arm. And the second time, I had work the following day and had a slightly more dead arm and felt a bit awful.
I think I've got like a phantom dead arm as well. So once the second jab was in and the second dead arm was down,
Yeah.
then I feel like my initial dead arm in the first jab arm, that started to return, and then I was like, that is just your head being an arse. Like,
Did you have it in the
playing with
other arm?
It was like, I had it in the first arm with the first jab, then I had it in the second arm with the second jab, and then once both had died away,
And what are you gonna
the
do if
pain
you
in
have
the
a third
first
jab?
one was just like, hey, I missed that. I missed the attention you were giving me when I was all dead and stuff. But yeah.
Nice. Yeah, missed out.
But it's been nice, like working from home and stuff. It's not really been a problem for me because I do my thing at home anyway.
Yeah.
It's like the hardest thing has been like not able to go out and network. But then saying that, like I network on we've been networking on Zoom meetings.
Oh, okay.
And it's been really good for me because the hardest thing about networking in the games industry is that you kind of got to make friends with strangers as quick as you can in the hope that something may come of it in 2 or 3 years time.
Yeah.
And it's hard enough. Like I went to an EGX, like my first ever EGX.
I don't know what that is.
It's just Electronic Games Expo or something.
Right,
I don't know.
okay.
I couldn't tell you what it stands for, but it's just a game expo basically. and it took me so much courage to ask anyone anything, to the point where it's just like, okay, just go and have your picture taken with Super Mario in the costume. And then I had to psych myself up just to ask a man in a costume if I could have my picture taken with him. And
was it like official, or was it like a Comic-Con?
This counts as networking. No, it was official Mario suit, I guess. But so it was the real Mario. I believe it was.
It wasn't just like a Comic-Con.
Yeah, it wasn't just some
like loser in a costume.
It wasn't
not a loser.
It wasn't just some nerd turning up in his own homemade mum's costume of Mario that was made. No, it's the real deal. I was just like, so, you know, when I could get it, so if I can get that on my Instagram and say, I'm doing some great networking at EGX, that would be the post that goes out.
Yeah,
it took me half an hour of just staring at him to work up the courage to do that, let alone actually network with actual people who can actually benefit my career. But
was the man in that suit just some dead behind the eyes?
Well, the good thing is, it was a woman. So misgendered. Just misgendered straight away. Just through a lack of information and assumptions, I misgendered. Which but we easily corrected.
That's the thing about costumes. It could be anyone inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be my future inside. Who knows? The future Mrs. Glenister. Who knows? But it wasn't. Yeah, it's tricky. I mean, I find a lot of things tricky. Like, I mean, we were making a tea earlier.
And you throw it straight in the bin.
Yeah, so I opened it's good and proper tea. I opened up the Jade Tips, which is the green tea one with hints of almond sweetness, and then I was just tidying up because the kettle was boiling, and I just threw the whole thing in the bin, and then it was in there quite a long time. You know, it was like, I would say a good
that long,
2 minutes. You know,
it wasn't 2 minutes.
I don't know, but
I think time slowed down is what it was.
I'm quite happy to scoop it out and give it a try. I only think it tastes a little bit tuna pasta bakery.
Yeah.
As a result.
As soon as you cut, you shouldn't be eating the packet. Really, that's where you've gone wrong there.
Well, that's where the fibre is. That's where the nutrients is. I'm sure of it. I mean, the packaging smells great, but that is mainly probably because it's had delicious tea inside.
The thing is, once you pour boiling water over something, you're neutralising all the germs anyway. Yeah, it's fine.
That's it. That's what I think. Hot boiling water it's like the best soap there is.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like, so don't waste your money on useless soap. Just pour scalding hot boiling water over yourself.
Exactly right. Yeah,
and that is how.
Disclaimer: don't do that. That is not good advice.
No, you know what? Read disclaimer. Do that. If you think that's fine, because Rob said on the podcast, he said it was all right. Just do it. I think I'm happy with that. Yeah. I'm happy with I can't. You said that would work. It's just like, well, you thought that me saying that was correct, that it would work.
Yeah. If you're stupid enough to think that is the right answer, then it's on you, really.
Yeah. And while you're there, eat silica gel. You know, like all the other stuff.
I actually saw a meme a little while ago. It said the devil's tea, and it was silica gel in a cup of water. It's really funny.
Oh god, but I kind of want to try it. I've tried the bin tea. I mean, maybe like silica gel tea is only like a small step up from that.
It's not a big leap at all.
No, but it's interesting. Thinking about stuff and things you can drink and eat out of the bin. Yeah. And but I like
What's the worst thing you've ever eaten out of the bin?
Green tea just now.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like I can't think of anything specific. I mean, I'm sure I have. Oh no, you eat stuff off the floor, don't you? I just think it's just like because it's actually gone in the bin.
Don't drag me into this.
Come on, get on board. Get on board. We're in this together now. So you're in my house. It's my rules.
Are you thinking of a picnic? Is that what you mean? Like I have picnics that is technically food off the floor, but
yeah, that's it. Next time someone eats something off the floor, they're just having a picnic. Yeah. That makes it feel so much.
It's a picnic without a blanket, is all that is. Yeah.
Yeah, and also no pesky wasps.
Yeah.
You know. It's just all the excitement of a picnic without the freaky stinging potential. And, just make sure your floor's not hairy or something.
Yeah.
If it's carpet, I mean, you wouldn't eat the picnic directly off the grass. But then even then, I'd eat a sausage roll if it rolled off the blanket. I'd eat the sausage roll off the blanket if it rolled onto the blanket.
How long would it have to be on the floor before you decided not to eat that?
As long as it takes for it to keep not hitting dog poo, I think is the optimum time.
So it could be covered, like, if you found something that had been there for like a day, but it was covered in bug.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. I know, I think it had to be in a window where you saw it happen.
Yeah. Okay.
So
yeah.
you'd know all the facts.
Yeah.
You'd know exactly or roughly the time. I go 10 minutes. I think I go up to about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It'll be like, oh, do you know what? Stuff it. I'm just gonna have it.
Say you drop a Chupa Chups lolly on the floor.
Chupa
You've
Chups.
already licked it, so it's sticky.
Yeah, I mean that's different.
You've got grass on it.
I mean that's guaranteed grit, isn't it?
That is guaranteed grit.
And like, especially over 10 minutes,
Yeah.
it's gonna be. I'm allergic to pollen, and like I'm probably consuming like dandelion. It'll be a little dandelion.
Would it be
fur
like
coat.
exposure therapy? You'd get over your hay fever from
Maybe.
eating it.
I could just
a Chupa Chups lolly.
I could just shove a daisy in my eye, like, and
You
without
could.
the risk of
Yeah.
consuming. But
Walk around with the daisy up each nostril.
oh yeah, I am Daisy Man. It's like, what's he doing? Trying to turn into the latest pollen-based superhero.
Yeah. Whereas all you're getting is an itchy throat and red eyes.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
So do you work for a company?
So
For context, Rob is, how would you describe it? You're a music designer.
So yeah, I'm a game audio designer.
Yeah.
So
because it's different to being a songwriter, right?
it's kind of, there's elements. So game audio designer includes all sound. So certainly the thing I focus on is game music. So I'll write and score the soundtrack for games.
Yeah.
But I also do sound design, which is going to be not only kind of recording the sound effects, but also implement them into a game.
Right.
So
Okay.
it would be, like, this is the sound the chest makes when it's glowing.
Okay.
And it's got something inside it. But how is it going to sound when you're not near it? And how is it going to kind of slowly get louder as you approach it?
Yeah.
And, like,
Yeah.
if you're in a jungle, like, there's all... You can record like a Foley track, like 3 minutes of jungle sound, but actually, rather than that big giant WAV that you put in the game, you can make lots of little ones and program a random, like a procedurally generated soundtrack based on what you're doing in that space.
Right. Okay.
So it's sort of quite interesting when you break it down. So like you'd have to do like a drone note.
Do you mean in the same way that like the music changes when Mario goes underground?
Yeah, similar. I mean, kind of easy side. If we look at the jungle, there'll always be
more advanced.
So
presumably.
there'll always be a sound that you will always hear no matter what, and it will be just like the air, just real kind of whatever it would be, like just the real air. But you'd hear birds in the trees.
Yeah.
You'd
So
hear
like ambient sounds.
but you wouldn't hear birds all the time. And you wouldn't hear the same bird like every 5 seconds because that wouldn't sound realistic. So you get a few in, and then also you can automate the pitch and the velocity of the sound.
Right.
So some will be like really soft, different pitch and stuff. So if you're doing footsteps, not every footstep's going to sound exactly the same, unless it's like a really old game like a NES or something.
Yeah.
But it's now so much more advanced. And then like the rustling of the trees, certain bugs you'd only find in certain trees, so that you'd hear them, and the way the wind goes through the forest, you'll hear it in open spaces and it will sound rustlier in other bits. And what you got to do is look at the environment and think like what is needed where, and be creative with it.
Right.
And then go in a cave and then everything is all of a sudden, hey, there's reverb now here and like all these different things. So
that's cool. But
I like the music side of it more, because that's kind of
where you come from.
Well, it's like the rock and roll bit. It's like, I'm gonna have all of my tunes in the biggest games. And obviously, I'm not in the biggest games yet. It's what you work up to, but it very much plays to what I'm into. Because obviously, we've been doing music for a long, long time. I remember definitely having a jam with you of some sort. So I've been in your house while you've been drumming at some point.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And like, who was the band? Was it Super Beat?
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
That's so long ago. We're talking like 20 years ago now. Nearly. It's like coming up to 20 years.
Yeah, easily, definitely at least 17 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a long, long time. But I've since then, like I've always tried to make it in a band. Like I've just always been in some kind of band. I counted them like the other day, and it's like 25 bands I've been in, which seems crazy.
That is a lot of bands.
I saw like my friend Matt. he did an autobiographical post where he talked about all the bands he'd been in, and he tagged every band member that he was in, and it was such a lovely read. It was like really kind of like, we were here and we were doing this, and we went mental in France, they were here, and we're crazy in Ireland here, and then this thing, we got kicked out of this venue and all of this stuff. And like I thought, I'm gonna do that, and then I started doing it, and it was just far too much work. I was just like, holy. There was like one band, actually it was Gozer.
Yeah.
And this guy came up to me. I was at the Muse, like bar near us, and this guy came up to me and said, "Oh, Rob, how's it going, man?" I was just like, yeah, definitely didn't know him. I definitely didn't remember him. Definitely didn't know his name. And then obviously, you have the awkward thing.
Yeah.
But then he seemed like really, really upset that I didn't know he was. And it's because he was actually in Gozer. He was a second guitarist. He was in my band. It was only for about like 2 months or something.
Yeah.
But that was like, well, I'm old now. Now I know I'm getting old. That I have. You forget the names of people and stuff, but to forget that someone was in a band with you, that is proper, like, I couldn't. And then it was like, oh yeah, of course, yeah, we didn't like him. Yeah. We didn't think he fitted, and then we had to try and find a way to like politely let him not be in the band anymore. But like,
it's funny. He's going to listen to this as well and go, "Oh God!"
Oh, that's what he thought. He was so apologetic when he was drunk, but now he's just like, no, it's to be. But it's true. It's like he was there. So I don't know how much I was there. I could have been that invested in the situation.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was so bad. But that's how you know you're really getting old. That's proper memory loss.
Yeah. You've forgotten them. You've forgotten doing stuff. Yeah, that's. I mean, there was a guy who. It may have been Superbeat. I hate saying that name. It's so cringy. It's such an awful
spelled it wrong
band
as well. SUPA.
Yeah. Can't believe you remember that. You don't remember being in a band with a guy, but you remember the terrible name of my band.
Anything that puts you in an immediate rough spot, it just pings into my mind like it was yesterday.
There was we had a Northern Irish guy singing with us briefly.
Oh right.
And I remember him because I was at the Pink Toothbrush with. So I've got a half sister that lives in Cornwall.
Right.
And her ex was like very Cornish. And he came down with her, and we all went to the Pink Toothbrush, and like the bandmates at the time came along, and the singer was there, and like he was talking to my sister's ex, the Cornish guy, and like they were talking to each other but couldn't understand a single word that each other said. So I was in the middle just translating for each of them.
That's pretty good.
It was that was funny, but if I met him in the street, I'd have no idea who he was.
Irish guy.
Yeah.
But we're talking about the music. So
yes.
So the music was, I'd always go into a band situation, and I like kind of putting it all together. So we'd have a jam. Like jams are good, and you sit there and you're jamming out the thing, that one riff for like 20 minutes, and you get stuck in it and whatever. I was always like quite good at kind of chopping up. It's like, right, now this is going to be the verse, this is going to be the intro, this is going to be the bridge, this is going to be the chorus and the double chorus, middle eight at the end, solo there, off we go, job's done, but it's under 3 minutes, and I was always like quite controlling and probably got quite annoying as well. I'd, like just come in and like just take over. The great thing about doing the kind of this game music is that you work on your own. So I've really I'll collab with some people sometimes, but I've never really like had the power to just do exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
It's probably like why I like the stand-up stuff as well, because it's like
get to work off your own back.
It's complete control over yourself.
That's why I wanted to start stand-up. I had so much trouble with bands for such a long time, and I was like, I just want to do something for myself. And I tried writing songs and sitting down and singing them, and then it turns out I can't sing that well.
So it's really annoying when like your crippling lack of ability slows you down.
Yeah. So I was like, well, what can I do? So here we are, stand-up. Yeah.
I must admit, like when I first discovered that you did stand-up, I was like, I would never have seen that coming. You seem like such. I mean, I've seen you stand up now, and it's like, oh yeah, well obviously he's really good. But like, if you had like if you pick like your mates that like, right, who would be good at stand up out of my mates, like you wouldn't have even been in the top 10. So no, it just doesn't strike me. But then you look at it, it's like, well, I always have a laugh with you.
Yeah.
And you translate that really perfectly in this kind of weird, awkward strange way, which is like, that's so weird. Why is this working? And it's like really thoughtful and stuff. So, but I do remember being like, I just can't believe he's doing comedy.
Yeah.
Like, and when you said, I'll do
funny.
stand up, and I was like, I've got to look this out. And I looked out, I was like, oh, well, I'll be fucked. There he is. There he is doing it. But,
yeah, that's it. Yeah, even when I walk on stage, sometimes people are like, "Not this guy."
Not today, Sadie.
No.
Whereas like, I was sort of like, I'm kind of very new to it, so I've only done like about 5 gigs or something like that. But I was.
You say about? Surely you can remember.
Well. One of them I'm not convinced the audience knew what we were doing. It was like there was sort of 3 of us. It was me, it was Jaguar Snakes, and it's Eddie Keeble, and we thought it was a comedy show because Eddie said, "Oh yeah, we've got us a gig. It's in Basildon. It's at this pub." And then like when we're in the car, then it's like then we learnt more information. Yeah, so like I met this couple on this swingers website, and they said like, oh right, well it's my one of my swinger mates 50th, and he's having his party at the pub in Basden. I said I sort out the entertainment. It's like, oh right, so he knows we're coming. It's like, no, he doesn't know you're coming. So it's like, right, okay. So it was pretty lucky. Like Jaguar Snakes, he was pretty good. Actually, he was just on a podcast recently, and he was talking about this exact same gig, and like, I can't remember the last time I spoke to him. I feel like the only time we're gonna speak to each other is like through podcasts that we've appeared on.
Yeah.
So like, when this comes out, Jag, nice to see you, mate. We should pretty meet in real life rather than appearing as anecdotes in other people's shit. But he hosted it pretty well, and he got control of the room and stuff. But it was an awkward time. There was like people doing coke off the tables and stuff. I went in, it's just like, happy 50th birthday. We've got you exactly what you wanted. 3 amateur comedians. It's like just what you wanted, right? It was really awkward. But
I mean, I've been at some gigs where some of the audience members sort of disappear during the gig and come back more belligerent. And like, you know what they're doing, but I've never had them doing it on the table in front of you.
Razor sharp focus. I'm gonna listen to everything you say. Go. Actually, it was funny because Eddie, he sort of bombed it. He didn't do like great. But there were so many funny bits where it bombed so spectacularly, and there was one point where his phone rang, and he was actually calling it in, and he had to pick it up because it's like they're only going to be around for like so much longer.
Oh, that's funny.
It was so bad. I feel like there was going to be sort of at least one sympathetic member, that guy at the front, like doing bumps and stuff.
Yeah.
But it was pretty crazy.
Good grief.
Good fun. But I like the control of it. So like with the music and the stand up, it's nice to have kind of the control, but that's why I've been doing the improv as well, because it's nice to kind of work with others as well. Yeah. And I feel like I'm sort of quite funny, and I thought like I kind of make up stuff quite a lot, and I thought, improv's, I've got this. Like,
I make up most of the stuff I say.
Yeah, I mean most of the things that I think of, I've thought of. And I thought I'd just be really, really good at it. And then, like, what you fast learn is that you've got to literally unravel everything that you think you know about being funny, because it's just not going to work. It's like I'm always like, and then and that's the punchline, and that's the end of it, and then you do something else, and it's just like, no, that's not yes and it's like, oh god, it's not, is it? Always like, or sometimes like the worst one I do is just like shutting people off, because I just think the shock and the drama of me shutting someone off with like a stupid face and thing that I've done is like, well, that's hilarious and funny, and it's just like, well, no, what you've done is you've made it all about you selfish prick, and oh right, yeah. So you got to unlearn it, but I am enjoying it.
It's a good skill to learn. Because I find that it's quite a good way, sort of some of the stuff that you learn with that is basically to, obviously, like, you accept and build, but you also allow the people that are involved to be involved. So like, I find that's quite a good way of dealing with hecklers, because a lot of the time if someone heckles, like, you'll see a comedian like just turn around and just go, oh f*** you, oh you piece of... like, you're not really winning anything there. You're not coming off as witty or clever.
I feel like if someone's like just like really just, if a member of the crowd is like obnoxiously rude to you, you can like be, well, I can be more obnoxiously rude, but if
Yeah,
that's not
yeah,
like
yeah.
really in your character, it's just like, but you actually just agree with them, it's just like, oh, like I've never really thought of it that way,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah, yeah.
Like, go on, like what else do we know about me? That you've only just decided
that's
that
it.
you know about me in the fucking 2 minutes you've been watching me.
Yeah.
You bloody bastards. Like, come on.
But like where my character can be quite judgmental of some people. Not always. Like I'm generally sort of quite nice, but also if someone does something wrong, I will be like, "You're an idiot! Like what are you doing? Like this, you've got that completely the wrong way."
I go
And
like,
I'm happy to, but then I'll still receive what they're saying, and I'll be like, "Oh yeah," but if someone says something funny, it's funny.
Yeah.
You let it, and you go, "Oh, that's funnier than what I was going to say." Actually, fair play. Yeah, you've won that one.
I'm always a bit like left field. I mean, it's only happened to me once, to be honest. But like, someone just sort of yelled something out, and it was sort of I can't even remember. It was a very weak. It wasn't like a devastating blow to my self-esteem or anything. But I kind of remember just kind of going like. So, yeah, you know what? I just thought I'd be much better at this than I am. I thought I'd be much better than what is happening right now. And then that was just sort of like funny enough, just self-deprecating stuff. But I don't know. I always got a smile on my face when I'm doing it. I think it's like if someone's just like really happy on stage, I think it's a lot harder to heckle them. It's like
Absolutely,
if someone's just generally having a good time, even if they're sucking. It's like when someone's like, oh, I could never go up on stage and like play guitar or sing because like I couldn't do it, and it's just like, yeah, but you've definitely seen people go up on stage and sing and play badly, and it's never stopped you having a terrible time, and you've always given them a clap at the end, and you've always gone up to say, well done. So it's like, and then that's
you don't get that in stand-up.
Maybe not in stand-up so much because it is just it's kind of like a matter of opinion.
You've ruined my evening.
Yeah, I came here specifically to have the most entertaining, hilarious time of my life, and here I am, worse than I left, worse than I entered. You've ruined it. Get out. I don't know. But it's like, but then it's just like, well, look, I can't help your sense of humour, or indeed this whole room's sense of humour, just because it's in this instance none of them are aligning with me right now. That sounds like a you problem, not a me problem.
Plus, like you're still young in your comedy days, so the more you do it, the more you learn to sort of accept rooms as they are and deal with it and whatever. But then again, not every room is playable.
No, but what I have learned...
But there are comedians that will play rooms that other people can't play.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that they can play every single room. Because quite often if you get someone that can go into like a rowdy pub and sort of shout everyone down and then eventually get them on side, that doesn't mean if you take them to a nice quaint little arts theatre in the home counties that they're going to have a good time there.
But they might behave themselves. They might enjoy the culture, They might be like,
you never know.
Little pinkies raised.
It does happen. Some people can do it, but it's it's not for everyone.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I like one thing I'm learning is in my very short time doing it is that like the energy of the room can change everything. When it's like you just got to read the room, It's sort of like it's hard to quantify what that actually means.
Yeah.
But like it's
I'd
really.
say at your stage, don't worry about that. Just try and remember your stuff.
But I'm noticing it already. So there'll be like I did there's this joke I make where I talk about my sister's just had a baby, little baby George, and I was like, I don't know I didn't know what his surname was because like my sister's a slag was the joke. But then I found out that his surname is Dorr, so my nephew's name is George Dorr. So I'm going to ask him what the scores are. So that's essentially just basically what the joke is. Right. And then what I'm finding...
But then that requires a specific knowledge.
It requires a very specific kind of group of people to be in your gig. Yeah. So like, so people will like laugh at the like calling my sister a slag thing. It's like hilarious. I highly recommend it. Just always be calling my sister a slag. But... Like
I wouldn't say that about my sister. She would kick my ass.
My sister kicks my ass on the regular anyway. At this point, it's like I'm immune to it, and she's expectant of it. But it's like when someone's like really reacting to something, you can just stretch it out or say like the same thing again, but like slightly different, and then like build on that one thing that you're saying. And then if they're laughing, and sometimes like there'll be like a. I don't know. There was one thing where I kind of pointed out that I'm not very good at sex, and then like I got like a really one gig I had like a really like pantomime me like and I was
Yeah.
like, don't patronise me, but then another time I had someone just one man just piss himself laughing on his own. I was just like, come on, man, we're meant to be allies. Like, just kind of trying to go at this one man. It's just like, come on, dude, like, help me out. But it's like the same thing, but like just like different energy, and then it's just good to kind of be observant and stuff.
Yeah.
But in the music, in like what I do, like a lot of it's like, I think like a lot of the fear of doing the comedy is like the fear of rejection. Or so like if someone doesn't laugh, it's like they've rejected you. You're funny, sort of thing. But in the music, it's very much the same. You've got to have like a really thick skin, because they pay you a lot of money for you to soundtrack their game. They only get one shot at paying a audio designer to do what they're doing, and then I'll sit there for like 2 days like solid and like, this is my masterpiece, this is the best music that has ever happened, and then like it's just like, nah, it's so bad, and you're like, your ears like,
has it ever been that bad?
Well, it's like, it'll be like
just that brutal.
It'll be like, it's not like that it's bad, because like I write good music, but like, it's in my opinion, but like it's just completely wrong, and it'll be like sometimes it's like really, it's kind of fair enough. It's like, this sounds like more like it's on a journey, where it's got to be like a more impactful description of this one place that you're at, and then with experience you get it right first time more often. But then sometimes just like, could you just make it sound, it just needs to sound more chocolatey. And then it's like, wait, right, cool. And then my job is, it's like, sound. It's like, well, of course I'll make it sound more chocolatey. And then it's my job to work out what the fuck chocolatey sounds like. Or
is that just hitting the mic with a dairy milk?
Well, it'd be, I mean, some are easy. So if there's this one level where I'm describing, it's set in a bathroom, so it's like it's a game called Fuzzball, and there's different regions. So there's like a kitchen and a playroom and a bath, and like in the playroom, it's all like glockenspiels and wood blocks and those kind of sounds which place you in it. In the bath, there's quacks as percussion and like bubbly water and stuff. And in the kitchen, can't remember there's like little fire jets and like chopping of like the chopping board, or there's like percussive notes and stuff. So there's like things, there's examples like that where it's a bit easier, but I always like the challenging ones, like so it's like the way with like to approach chocolatey, it's like, well, I don't know what chocolatey is, but I can definitely write 2 pieces of music or 2 ideas for music and decide which one sounds more chocolatey, and then so that's closer in the right direction, sort of thing. So it might be like, if it's like a bubbly chocolate, maybe like have little like bubbly sounds, and like that might be, but not like wet bubbly sounds, like dry bubbly sounds.
Like an aero.
Like an aero. So what does an aero sound like? What does a Kit Kat sound like? I mean, that has a little crunch to it, and I've just whacked the mic. I do apologize. But it's like there's all the things you can play around with, and then it's like, this chocolatey is like luxurious and sumptuous. So it might not be fast music. It might be enjoy it, and it's smooth, or like, and it's going to be pleasant and satisfying. So there's satisfying chord progressions and stuff like that. So there is ways to do it, but then I do like the challenging ones. Like they'll say like, so we need Venetian techno, and it's like, cool. That's
specific.
Wait, ancient Venetian techno. I was like, okay, cool, right, leave it with me. And then it's like, okay, you've got to look up Venetian music, work out what that is. You know what techno is, and then it's like, let's go, let's put them in the melting pot and see what happens. So yeah, it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Nice. And
it's not really like a job either. Like that is, I'll be doing it and I'll be like, this is like such a stupid. I can't believe I'm getting paid for this.
Yeah.
I'll be like, what's the best fart here? Like, what's the best fart to do this? Like, and it's like, I think I need to sort out the EQ on that belch. And it's like, come on, Rob, this is like the life, right?
That's amazing. Like, how long have you been doing this now? Because So this is your full-time job, yeah?
So it's about it's coming up to 4 years now.
Yeah.
I've only been doing it.
Because I remember running into you at an asylums gig.
Yeah.
And you told me, like, you said, I want to do it. I want to start writing songs for, and then like a couple of weeks later, you came up with the Wob Wob Rob account.
Yeah. The name I had anyway, because it was always sort of like my joke dubstep DJ name was Wob Wob Rob. If that was ever going to be, if I don't even like dubstep, but I said if it ever happens, that's my name.
Yeah.
And then in terms of like as a music company, as a fun, stupid music company, which is essentially what it is, it's quite a fun name, you know. So I kept it. And then obviously I've got my logo and stuff, which I really like.
It's cool, man.
I told Joe White about it, you know, Joe?
Yeah.
And he was doing like graphic design at the time. He's more of like a musician as well now, but he was really into the graphic design. And I told him about this company and kind of what I was looking for. And then it took me about like 2 months or 3 months, and I thought, oh, do you know what, Joe, just do it, because I was trying to design a logo myself, and it's like sometimes you just got to pay someone who knows what they're doing. And I was like, all right, Joe, look, I'll pull the cord on that, let's go, like I'll do it. And he's like, you pay me the money? I was like, I'll pay you the money. I was like, I want to see it in my account, and it was there, and he's just like, I've already done the logo.
No way.
So he'd already done it, basically. He was saying, I was so confident you were going to start doing it. I actually designed it, and then he had it already. It was funny. It was so good.
It's perfect as well, man. It's great. Yeah. It's real 8-bit sort of. If you, I mean, I won't post a picture of that. Well, I'll tell you what. We'll take a photo at the end, and then we'll get that in the background.
Fine. Whatever. Yeah. But it's really good. It's really easy to brand. So I use the colours of it, and it's like every single thing I do. So like my SoundCloud, my Spotify, my Twitter. It's all Wob Wob Rob. It's all got those colours.
Yeah.
And I think it does make me stand out when I'm sending like my demo reels to clients.
You're not going to find the wrong Wob Wob Rob.
No, it's like, I mean, you will find like thousands of like composers in an oversaturated market, which is pretty much like any creative industry. Especially like in comedy and stuff, it's like what gives you like the edge, and like what you'll find is
I am a 30-something straight white man.
Yeah.
I need an angle.
But then what you
got
do,
a slight angle, but you know,
I just walk in like all wonky.
yeah.
That's my
I've
got
one leg shorter than the other.
Actually, I'm nicking that. That's but it's like one thing you do really well is when like obviously you've got your new show coming out and you've got that brilliant Si-Clops picture, and it looks good.
I'm very happy with that poster.
Yeah, and then it's just really clear that you've thought about it. So like when you are booking shows and like looking to build a tour, it's like it's easy to kind of click on one thing Deaves related and being like, okay, well this guy's got his shit together. He sounds more like I'll listen to his stuff, because then you got to, if you get the chance to click and listen to something. It's not like music. With the music, I can do like little 30-second clips of my tracks, and I can focus it to what it's like. If I'm going for like an adventure game, I'll put all like my fantasy orchestral stuff in there. If it's like a party action game, I'll put like my zany, wacky stuff in, and I can give them little 30-second glimpses in a demo reel, which is all done in this app called Reelcraft, which I use. And focus on it, and they can click it and get an exact idea of me straight away. Where it's like with comedy, it's just like, oh, well, this is really funny after you've kind of sat with like 3 or 4 minutes of the build up towards it.
But that's the thing. Like, this is the thing that people don't understand when they hear that you're a comedian and they say, oh, tell me a joke. And you're like, oh, I do stories. Like, I'll tell you a story if you want, but you've really got to buy into the fact that I'm doing stand-up, because if you think I'm just telling you a funny, quick joke, it's not going to work.
Stand-up comedy.
Maybe I'm not interested in your jokes. That's
it's like stand-up comedy. I think more and more, it's like it's just like a PowerPoint presentation. It's like I've sat through really boring PowerPoint presentations, and then there's some people that turn it into this amazing journey of like surprise and intrigue, and it's still like over something really boring or something really mundane. But because they've injected it with like personality or a build up and a setup and a surprise and a punchline, it's like sometimes like they'll click through and like they'll go to right, so there is a graph for this, and they'll click it, and it's just the most boring graph ever, and then they go, ooh, and then it's just like, oh, thanks, it just made that little moment of my life slightly better. And that's not like a joke, it's just like just one thing that someone on that stage in that moment, just kind of owning that moment,
being aware of itself. That's
And then I think it's like the best stand-up is just people just understand kind of like the ridiculousness of like, well, you're all looking at me right now, and my job is to fill this gap between the sides.
Is this your material?
No, this is just me describing what I think it is.
Christ.
Really, it's like it's just a blank page. It's like a blank space. I just think it's kind of it's a weird thing. I'm glad I've given it a try as well.
Yeah.
Like,
You're gonna keep going with it.
It's a weird thing. I prefer doing the improv stuff because it's like I find I'm getting transferable skills from it.
Yeah.
So I'll be in a Zoom call. Oh yeah, I was talking about the networking earlier, like going and meeting people in real life.
Of course, yeah.
At home, it's been all about like Zoom meetings. But the good thing about that is like you go in breakout rooms, and then it's all people in the same boat, forced to be in there and talk to people. And I haven't had to like drink like 4 pints at the bar to pluck up the courage to make a tit of myself in front of someone. It's just like quite a calm affair. And we're all in the same boat. And,
it's just someone in a Mario costume on your computer screen.
Exactly
instead.
that. Yeah. And it's like the Masked Singer, but for my industry specifically. But I forgot the point I was going to make. But I've completely forgot the point I was going to make.
Don't apologise. Yeah, that happens.
Yeah, I'm not going to apologise. I'm just telling you that's what's happened.
That's fair enough.
That's where it is. Yeah. So, how is your tour going?
It hasn't. I mean, it's not.
You're sort of looking to build
I'm writing it
right.
at the minute. Yeah, I've got the first.
See, I see the poster, and I'm like, oh, he's done it. He's already out there. He's at Edinburgh.
No. I've got the very first run through next Sunday. So Sunday, the 1st of August.
That's Sunday, the 1st of August.
At Faversham Fringe.
At Faversham Fringe.
I can't remember what the venue's called. It's like Baltic House at What Now? Or What Now at Baltic House. It's one of those.
That's Baltic House at What Now? I don't know what I'm doing now.
I
feel like, because I'm in like in my studio, I do a lot of like voiceover stuff.
Yeah.
It's never for like anything serious.
Yeah.
It's more just like, I do a lot of like kind of jingles for things like podcasts or things like that, and it's like little stupid bits for a section that they've done, and it'll be like it's like, what's in the fridge? That's what's in the fridge. Or stupid shit like that, or like make up little songs for you, or like I could make you up a song if you really wanted.
You could do. You brought this up. That's why your ukulele's sitting next to you.
I could do it right. I mean, I've sort of
briefly discussed that he may be able to do musical comedy, and now he's convinced that he wants to write me a song.
The thing is, it's like I don't think I would be funny enough or good at the music side of it enough. So between the two of them together, that's kind of that's a shit sandwich with shit as the bread.
Yeah. You could make it work, but it's up to you. You don't have to do it. If you want to do it, we'll do it later.
I don't really.
I can cut it out.
What I'll do is I'll email you something maybe, and then you could decide to play it. It's like, to be honest, it's like it just crossed my mind that it's like if I go on a podcast, I'm like, well, I'm a musician. My job is to write songs, and I don't even write no songs. It's sort of a bit like. Sorry, I'm scared, but I'm going to try it.
You can do it.
I'm going to do. Okay, so this is a ukulele, and I guess make it about the podcast
if you want.
Okay, so it was going to go. Si, he's a hell of a guy. Let's drink some tea.
Lovely.
Si, he's the apple of my eye. Let's drink some tea and talk about me.
Yeah, very nice.
And that's going to be out on iTunes and all the. It definitely won't be on iTunes. Career suicide.
I like it. That's good.
It rhymes.
Yeah, thanks very much.
And you are like sort of the apple of my eye. I think there's.
I'm married.
Let's not like get into technicalities of why our love can't blossom. I'm sure your wife will understand.
Sure, I'll text her now. I'll see what she says.
Yeah, absolutely.
Listen, I'm not coming home.
It's complicated. Yeah. He wrote a song. It was a ukulele.
You've never wrote me a song.
Yeah. It's like if you got I think that's the most romantic thing I've done, like for anyone as well. I'm normally like slagging people off in songs, but no.
Yeah.
Apple's eyes.
That's beautiful.
I'm really pleased.
Speaking of apples, eyes, and tea, is there any apple in your tea? I can't remember what the ingredients are.
Well, in my Good and Proper J tips.
Thanks very much to Good and Proper Tea.
That's
for
good.
sending us the tea. If anyone ever wants to find a good independent tea company, get in touch with Good and Proper Tea because they make incredible tea.
That's Good and Proper Tea. Best consumed out of a bin.
That is not correct.
No, but mine is a uniquely smooth floral green tea with hints of almond sweetness. But if I'm honest, it just tasted like every green tea that I've ever drunk, which is kind of nothing. But it tastes like it's good for you.
Yeah, okay.
And I know it is really good for you.
Yeah,
so
it's good and proper.
It's good and proper.
Yeah.
But it was nice. It was smooth and it was tasty. And,
that's good.
But just not like it's not like a really strong taste.
Yeah, it's not a strong taste. I said the same thing when I had it before.
Yeah.
The Rooibos, which I had in the packet in there, that is very good.
Rooibos.
Yeah.
It did smell good. Is that the pepperminty one?
No, that was peppermint.
Oh, so you're telling me the one that tastes like peppermint was called peppermint?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
I understand.
That is a deliciously fresh, peppery cup with a cool, minty finish.
I do like peppermint.
These emerald green leaves produce a refreshing caffeine-free cup, well known for aiding digestion. This is the perfect infusion for after a meal
or during a crippling hangover.
Yeah,
it's like very, very good things to drink. I like the peppermint stuff. Like my mum's been making tincture for everyone. It's a special tincture.
Oh.
She's a bit of a witch, so she brews potions for people. Sure. And she'll boil ginger and turmeric, and then she'll add peppermint oil and this other type of oil. And it's
sunflower.
No, it's like a
olive.
No, it won't be like one of them types of oil. It'll be like an essential oil. It'll be right. It'll be like a I can't remember the name of it.
Two-stroke oil.
Two-stroke oil. Yeah, it could be two-stroke. Lovely bit of two-stroke.
Chainsaw oil.
Yeah, just something black. It's black. And all I know is it's black and thick, and I don't like it.
Yeah. Bovril,
yeah. I always like in Spaced when he goes,
go for a pint of the black stuff.
Mine's the pint of the black stuff. It's like, you can't drink a pint of Bovril. It's always like my favourite.
The thing is, one of my favourite quotes from Spaced is not an audible quote, and that is
ladies and gentlemen, he's held his arm in the air,
held my fist aloft,
held his fist aloft. Yeah, I like it. What it is that one? Yeah, where because
Brian goes to knock on the door and Mike opens the door and just sees him and goes
power.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is good. That's aged really well. It's just because like the writing's so good.
It's aged brilliantly. I watched it all during the first lockdown, and I watched it all the time. But yeah,
the only thing is like I think
really good.
The only thing that hasn't aged well in it is like the PlayStation graphics. That's the only thing.
Even then, it just makes it of its time.
Yeah,
but like
makes it of its time.
Yeah,
it's like in the Matrix where like it felt the flip phone felt so futuristic. And it was just like, I can't believe how futuristic that looked. Oh my god, so futuristic. And now it's like it just looks so retro and antique and dated. And it's sort of, it does lose the effect of it, really.
Yeah.
It's like, obviously they go out of the Matrix and then it's like, obviously it's all set in the future still, but when they're in the Matrix it's just like, yeah, and bizarrely these humans are in this weird dated time all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah,
that's funny. Right, let's ask some questions.
I'm down for some questions.
Are
these the tea essential, was it? Tea-tally great
tea emergency, but I'm not saying that. I've stopped calling them that.
We've got to give them some kind of. Can we call them titillating?
Maybe we should workshop what we should call them. I'll tell you what. Actually, can I go for a week?
Of course you can, mate.
Right now, for the listeners, I may leave the noise in.
I've got an ensuite.
Rob's got an ensuite, yeah.
Or you can use my brother's, which is clean because I cleaned it, which is next door. So.
Oh, maybe I'll do that.
In the meantime, I'm going to tell a story. I'm going to write another song. Let's see what comes back. It'll be a secret song. Should we just write a secret song? Okay, so this is Si-Deaves. This is called the Si-Deaves Waltz. And this is what Si-Deaves gets up to in his spare time. My name is Si-Deaves, I run through the leaves. That's all I've got. I mean, you were expecting better than that, but I was trying to think of like something just really disgracefully dirty that you would have to edit out or just keep forever. But I chickened out at the last minute. I should have prepared something. I didn't think I would be secretly writing a waltz while my friend went for a wee, to be honest. Also, I'm not very good at the ukulele. I don't know why that was my instrument of choice in this moment. So, you live, you learn. My best instrument is the tuba. Another really useless instrument. No one really needs a tuba, But here we are. I can hear rumblings, so let's talk really quiet, like we're finishing off an anecdote, and that's what he gets up to at the weekend.
Right. No, before we get into the questions, actually, because as you just pointed out, I just used your brother's toilet. Because speaking of your brother, you've been in some interesting situations with him. Like you have, how much TV have you done with him? Because you did Dating in the Dark, right?
Oh yeah, so this is my twin brother. So we got this was a long time ago now. This was like, I think we were like 26, so like basically like 10 years ago now.
Yeah.
But we had we were in a band together at the time, and then one of our friends sort of works in TV, and they said, "This is a casting call. They're looking for single, identical, alternative-looking twins for a dating show."
Perfect.
So obviously, we thought of you. Would you be interested? Please do it. It'll be so funny. And like we really like ummed and ahed about it because we thought, oh, we're in a band, and like if it takes off, we'll be known. No one will take it serious. But then we just thought like, if we saw like any of our friends doing it, or even it's just like anyone we slightly knew, do it. It would just be so fucking cool.
Yeah, you'd think it'd be so funny. Yeah.
So we thought, well, look, Merry Christmas, everyone. We'll do it. So we go on Dating in the Dark. I'd never seen the show, so I didn't really know what it was about. And
no, I think yours is the only episode I've ever seen. So.
Well, they had like celebrities and all like special guests on some of the shows. So remember like like that Russell Brand, like the answer phone message gate, Manuel's daughter.
Yeah.
They had her on one of the episodes,
way.
so she was like the special guest. We were like the hook of our episodes.
Right.
So it's essentially Dating in the Dark. It's 3 guys meet 3 girls, and they only date in the pitch black dark room, and you can't see your hand in front of your face. It's that dark.
Is it that dark?
So you really can't see shit. But the gimmick on our show was me and my identical twin. We didn't say we were twins or knew each other, so we were just 2 dudes, 2 extra dudes that were in there. And hilarity ensued. Our problem was like we got incredibly drunk. We drank so much in this space to the point where like the producers kind of cut off our supply, but there was like June is, oh, go on, sneak us another bottle of wine. Like yeah, we'll sneak you a bottle of wine and stuff. So we were having a great time. But we were just like in our own little world sort of thing. Like this guy Dale, who actually does stand up as well.
Really?
I think he lives in Canada now, and he's been doing some like stand up. It was really cool seeing that he's doing that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But he was like, the producers pulled me and Mike aside. It's like, now we know like you. We asked you on, you're having a good time, just mucking around and stuff. But Dale, he's really wanted to like have a good, unique dating experience, and we're like, what are you trying to say? It's like, can you just include him a bit more? And what it was, it's just like me and Mikey just chatting each other's face off, like, look at this, brilliant. Oh, this is stupid. And poor Dale just sitting there twiddling his thumbs.
Oh,
like,
that's funny. Bless him.
Idiots. But Mikey won the show. He won the show. That's what he likes to say.
Yeah. So he came away with a girlfriend.
He came away with an actual girlfriend. Because there was this girl, Steph, that was on there. And obviously this wasn't in the edit, but we said, have you got any tattoos? And she's like, I'm not really allowed to talk about it. And it's like, and you're a model. What type of modelling do you do? It's like, I'm not really allowed to talk about it. It's like, okay, she's a suicide girl. So we're like, listen, she's definitely a suicide girl. So she was like instantly the one that we wanted to get with.
Yeah.
Like the other one from the dates we had is like, I really like Rihanna or whatever it was. I'm like, oh, cool. It's like, I don't care. But I really wanted to like kiss anyone. So like, I
kissed your brother in the dark.
I'd kiss my brother in the dark, and it was the best kiss I've ever had. But I think I got with Kat in the end, and like I grabbed her boobs, but it was dark. It was dark, and you can't see what's going on. But it's so bad because it's like you really can't see shit. But then it's just like I don't know. It's just really bad. It's like, it's probably stuff that would like get me cancelled. But I was like, in my defence, it was completely pitch black. You know, it's like, what can you do? And it was quite funny.
Yeah.
But Mikey won the show, got with Steph, and then we all did dating in the pub afterwards. And
really?
We got kicked out of 5 pubs. Like, we were just so, because you're in there for a week. It's like an hour-long show, but you're actually in that building for 5 days.
Were you staying there?
Yeah, so we stay there. There's boys on the bottom floor, girls on the top floor, and yeah, no internet, no phones. So all we have is the reality.
Which at the time wasn't that big of a deal because phones.
I don't know. I mean, it was like there's only so many DVDs that you can watch before and then. Yeah, it was strange, and also no connection with the outside world. All we had is the truth of these 3 mystery women just above us, and it was like so tantalising and exciting. To the point that when we actually got out, it was just like, oh my god, there you are, holy shit! And it, like, everything was just like so. And then we were trying to explain everything and all the like the deep lore that we created from the little bits and pieces that we picked up. And, oh, that makes sense, and this and that, and it was really good. So, and I did get with the one that I thought was boring anyway. So we we both. She was just like, you're much cooler in real life. It's like, thanks, mate. It's not getting in the pub. It's really funny.
Amazing. Now, I've got to ask about that actually, because what was it? I can't remember what it was called. There was a series on Netflix of like there were like, it was American people were meeting up in this like secret little room, and they had to decide I think they had like a week, and they had to decide if they were going to get married. But they hadn't actually met like face to face. And because they were sort of like talking so intensely, like without seeing each other, they were convinced that they were falling in love with each other. And I think most of those relationships went quite toxically wrong.
Yeah.
As you would imagine. But like, did you find a similar thing? Like, was it like intense?
I don't know.
Because you're there specifically to meet someone, aren't you?
I think it was more like, just like the environment of having a TV show be filmed around you.
Yeah.
The excitement of that kind of didn't really play too much into, in my experience anyway. I wasn't really like, I really wonder what the stuff I'm going to say and do is going to have in terms of my effect on these people. I was really hey, look, cameras. Hey, that's a producer. That's a junior producer. What's that do? Well, that's what a grip does. And stuff. And like, it was just the whole thing.
What does a grip do?
I can't remember. I was drunk. I was drunk out of my mind.
Hey, if anyone knows, let us know. Get in touch.
I hold the sound boom because you need a good grip.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That sounds very correct.
I feel like they had a different route because there's like boom operating stuff, isn't there?
Yeah, see, it's just.
You'd think that would be what that is.
It's just a good. It's just a good skill to have.
Yeah, sure.
Grip.
Yeah.
So if you've got good
can you hold
grip,
stuff? Oh, you're in. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it was just the excitement of it all was like kind of played over it. That was more the thing. But I think that like any kind of relationship that I've had that's broken down, it's only been on Messenger and WhatsApp. It's like the number of times you have this like 2-day row and it's over like WhatsApp, and then you call them up and you literally sort it out in 20 seconds. Yeah. It's like, it's absolutely ridiculous, and it's like, that's how toxic social media is. It's just, it really is not real. And also it's like, you could be in the heat typing stuff out, and then it's like, yeah, that's the timing that I was going for, and then you'll be furious, and then you'll go back at the argument, and then you'll read it back, and it's just like, I sound like a psychopath. I sound mental, or I just sound like really stupid, and it's just because it's just a big block of text. It was like, well, it wasn't like blah 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 blah. It was just like, it was the timing of it, and then it's just like, these are still the words you picked, like whatever the timing was, and then she or he will be in exactly the same boat. It's like,
now I don't know how this came up. What was that in reference to?
A dating show. It was like the messaging and the marriage.
Oh, right, yeah.
And it's like, it turns into really toxic things. And it's like, my 2 cents is that is why they are toxic. It's just because it is online. It's not real. You need to look in someone's eyes. And
you need to be able to grab their boobs in the dark.
That's all you really need. You either need to be able to look them face in the face and know what they're thinking, or just have a cheeky grab of some side boob, and then you know whether you're made for each other or not.
Yeah. But, yeah. And you knew.
I just knew. Yeah. Beauty was high in the boob holder.
What? Because you've done an advert as well with your brother, right?
We did. I did like I auditioned. I think we were in a music video for James Morrison.
Oh, okay.
And it was all twins.
Yeah, there were loads of twins.
Yeah, so it was a song called Demons that he did, and like I've never been weirded out by twins, but everyone seemed like very weirded out by us because you don't see twins every day, and it's like, but we've never had like the magic of twins.
Yeah.
But on that day, 14 sets of different twins, all different types of twins, like sort of tall black men, like short little old age women, everything in between, all dressed and like styled exactly the same. And it was like, this is cool. And we were going into like news agents together, and they were just giving us free shit, like here, take the cigarettes, take the candy. Like, it was so cool. Like,
nice.
And then we were like so G'd up on it that we thought like we should do like a modelling agency or just some kind of agency where we just clean up, like get all the work that requires twins. And what you soon find out is that there's not like a lot of demand for twins, really.
Yeah,
there's only going to be so much.
Very specific situations.
But it was cool to meet James. He's really cool.
Yeah,
like Mikey's always like really lucky and blaggy and stuff like this.
Yeah,
because like he by the end of it, like Mikey was saved in James Morrison's phone as Mikey's trumpet.
Amazing.
Just in case you need a trumpet. Yeah, you need a trumpet. I'm your guy, sort of thing. And then
for context, Mikey plays trumpet and cornet.
Yeah.
Specifically with Get Cake, Wear Cake, Fly.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Like less these days.
Which is how we met the girl from Hollyoaks, right?
Yeah. Oh, Holly. Is it Holly Bowes?
Could be
Holly J Bowes.
I don't know. I didn't know her.
I think that's a pretty good guess.
I think I met her briefly, like through Mikey once, but
he had like he got them down. They were on Hollyoaks, and he kept in touch with like loads of people, like James Sutton and
really?
like all of that kind of. Like,
that's funny.
But but he loves all that.
What a life.
What a life.
What a life.
But it's like it's not like really that much of a life. It's like everything's like, oh my god, like I'd love to hang out with these TV stars or film stars or these rock stars and stuff, and it's just like it really
they're just people.
Yeah it's like
that's what everyone forgets is famous people, just people.
Yeah,
they've just got bigger houses.
And even then sometimes not even then, like because their lives are so recklessly awesome. They spend all their money on drugs and like getting pissed up and what lives they lead, but they're generally not like that. And they'll always talk to you if you got. They'll help you if you got questions. It's just like it's nice to help people.
Amazing.
And do stuff, but yeah.
Nice.
The other TV I did was when I was 10, and I was on the National Lottery, playing tuba. Because my brass band got a grant. So we got like 46 grand, which is good amount, and we had to play Jingle Bells or We Wish You Merry Christmas. It was a Christmas show. But we had to stand up in the audience.
Oh.
Which is fine, because I played the tuba. Now, tuba, you wear a bass strap and then you hold the tuba.
Yeah.
Otherwise you sit there. But bear in mind, at that age, I had to sit on 2 yellow pages to reach the mouthpiece. So when I was standing up, even with like the shortest setting, like the mouthpiece appeared on like my forehead, wouldn't go any lower. So I essentially on live TV just had to just pretend to play tuba, and it was really like, oh god. And I didn't know until literally 5 minutes before the cameras went on, so I couldn't really change it. But
that's funny.
Maybe I should have just sat down at the end, just played like a random note. But like Bob Monkhouse was presenting it there.
Really?
So I met Bob Monkhouse, which is kind of cool. Like,
yeah.
I didn't really understand the relevance at the time, but I knew him off like the quizzes that he did. And,
yeah.
But he's just really nice, just really
nice
man. No, we think the Spice Girls are on live and kicking in the morning.
Right.
So like, there's people in the brass band. They found a hairband. So I got Push Spice's hairband. I got Push Spice's hairband. So very exciting stuff.
Probably found someone else from the audience's hairband.
Well, it was in the dressing room.
Oh,
so
okay.
It was like we're like
maybe
nowadays you'd whack that on eBay. That'd be good enough, I think.
Yeah. Right. Let's do some questions before we wrap up.
I'm down.
I mean, so, are you a tea drinker? You big on tea? I don't get to ask. I've not been able to ask this for the last few episodes because it turns out people are like, "Oh, yeah, I don't really drink tea." What are you doing on here?
I find like I love having a cup of tea when I go round someone's.
Yeah.
But I never like, I need a cup of tea now, and I never like just make it. I'm like, I'm not. I wake up and I'm gasping for water, and I'll have a pint of water, and then I'm like, I'm all right. I might have a coffee, but I have tea. I've been drinking more green tea because I'm trying to get healthy.
Yeah.
And it does give you energy and it is nice. But it's just like, I don't know, it's a really bad taste. Like now I'm at the point where I've got used to the taste of green tea.
Yeah.
And then it's only going to get better. It's like olives and stuff.
Absolutely, yeah. Once you develop a palate for it, yeah.
It's like a cheese.
You start noticing the different things.
Yeah.
That's the thing, you drink enough of anything, and eventually you will start to notice the difference between.
It's like I've got my favourite wines now, and like a cheese board isn't scary anymore.
Yeah, that's how you know you're getting old.
Yeah. And I think it's just you're just bored of everything being delicious all the time. You need to just balance it out with stuff. It's like beer. Does beer really taste any good? I'm not convinced. It's like if you can have right now a pint of ice cold beer, or a chocolate milkshake. It's like
Well, I don't like beer, so I'm going chocolate milkshake.
There you go.
Yeah,
there you go. I think most people would. Unless they just want to get hammered. But I like getting drunk. So it's like, it depends what you're looking for.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a flavour hit, go for the milkshake. But if you just want to get pissed, like, milkshake ain't going to cut it.
So you're going to have a green tea as your go-to tea?
For now.
Yeah.
But
any particular brand, or they all taste the same?
Mighty Matcha. Because it's my mate's company.
Oh, okay.
But
who's that?
It's the Fishenden, so they do Monge too and all that. So, but Mighty Matcha, it's like really concentrated. So it's like a powder, and it's like you can you can cook with it.
Can you get a hookup for the? I have a tea podcast.
Oh yeah, cool. So I've heard of that. Yeah. I mean, they'd definitely be up for that, 100%. Actually, I'm really glad we brought it up because I would have kicked myself that we hadn't thought of it if we didn't think of it.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm always thinking about it.
It's all I'm thinking about is comedy and tea.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Look, that is really easily sorted out.
Sweet, amazing.
Sorry, good and proper. You've been demoted.
But you're still really good. Thanks for
proper good. I'm a convert at the very least.
Yeah, it's nice.
But I will just nick some of your samples. So
that's fair enough. So do you have a English breakfast tea?
Yeah, normally it's like just what's ever in the pot.
If you're gonna dunk a biscuit.
It depends. It really depends.
Go on. What does it depend on? Does it depend on the biscuit? Because that's going to be my next question.
Well, let's go on to the next question. Let's see how this develops.
What kind of biscuit would you dunk?
Well, it very much depends on on the situation. So, if it's I like a rich tea biscuit because I feel like it's hard to eat on its own. It's too dry,
right?
So the tea improves the biscuit. Other biscuits, I feel, are just fine on their own.
Yeah. So you're going rich tea.
I think rich tea.
Yeah.
I think so. It's got to be done. Are you doing a graph or a table of these? Because this could be really good, important information.
Maybe someone is. Maybe your listeners collating it and they'll send it to me one day.
I'm your biggest fan. This is what comedians think of tea biscuits.
So during the podcast with Luke Branch, he was telling me the story about a taxi driver who was a healer and he could create smoke from his own fingers. And I prophesized that I think that's the word I'm going for.
Predicted the future. Made a statement that is going to come true.
Oh, in that case, I'm going to change what I said.
Look,
I'll edit it beautifully.
But the thing is, it's like I've said that's what prophesize means. But
it could be.
I just said that definition very confidently without necessarily
I immediately
knowing.
thought, that does sound right, actually. So I suggested that he was just evaporating. And it was actually...
Hypothesized.
Yeah. If you were going to die by evaporation, what part of you would you want to evaporate first?
Well, my toes, right?
You want to go bottom up?
Yeah.
So would you want it to look like you're sinking into the ground, or would you want to stay sort of level where you are?
It depends. Evaporating takes a very long time, right?
Sure.
It's like if we're we're gonna whoa, and a puff of smoke all quick and comedy then I'll go head first. Just get it done because it's probably gonna be more painful than you think. So just do the head first. Get it done.
But if it's slow, you want it to go.
If it's slow, I'd want to be on the phone to people. Right, everyone, you're not gonna believe this. I am slowly dying of evaporation. I get my affairs and all. I'm gonna be sending emails. Gonna be writing shit down. So my toes would be the first bit because it's gonna slowly build up, and I can just get my affairs in order.
Yeah,
that
makes sense. That's good. It's a good answer.
But that's if it's like how evaporation actually is.
Yeah. Well, it is a hypothetical situation, so
Well,
if that's what you want it to be.
I feel like this weather we are sort of a little bit.
We're close to evaporating for sure.
We're basically there already, and I'm glad it's my toes to go first. Some stupid, ugly toes.
Well, my feet get so hot in my shoes that could well be the case.
Do you know what pisses me off the most about summer is I'd love to like wear flip-flops and sandals confidently, but I just can't stand the look of them. But I hate how hot my feet are not wearing them. Yeah. So it's just like, just grow up, Rob. Just put a pair of flip-flops on. And then it's just like, it's just something about it. I just don't know exactly what it is. Yeah. It's like, get your stupid foot nudity out of my face.
Yeah.
It's like, they could have their penis lopped out in front of me, a stranger, and it's like, it's the same
still
as
say, look
just
at
a
their
man
feet.
wearing flip-flops. But weirdly, if they're not wearing flip-flops and they're just barefoot, that's totally fine.
Oh, that is weird.
Why is that the case? Why is that what my brain does?
Yeah.
You know, not a problem with just barefoot. It's like, good for you. Oh, look at him walking barefoot through the street. I wish I had that confidence. I'd be scared of stepping on a beer class. Bit of flip, like flap, flap, flap. It's like, oh, God's sake, It's like...
Nice.
So that's my worst thing about summer. It's me. What's wrong with me?
If you were going to be on the radio, who would be your ideal radio double act partner?
Oh, double act partner?
Yeah. So, like, you know, who would you want to be on a radio show with? For instance, like Ed Gamble and Matthew Crosby are amazing on the radio together. John Robbins and Ellis James, brilliant in their own way. Who would you want? Who do you think would reflect well with you in a radio show?
Well, I kind of like I do a radio show, and we were doing a radio show before lockdown, and then the venue we were in, it's been shut down unfortunately.
Yeah.
But there is sort of plans to get it going, and I do a lot with this guy called Jaguar Snakes, who's very extra. He's it's Dean Wilkes, but it's like he's known as Jaguar Snakes because Facebook, he did it as a joke, for a little joke, an in-joke between like one of his friends, and then Facebook wouldn't let him change it back, so he kind of got stuck with it, and then he was meeting new people and you're at Jaguar, and he's like, what? How's that sticking? I'm not even trying. But it's like, as part of his stand-up, he's like, yeah, look, it's not my real name, like, you know, I'm not even as interesting as that might, but it's whatever it is.
Yeah.
But he's very high octane, very high energy and stuff.
He's more energy than anyone I know. Right?
Yeah, and I'm very much. I'm a lot more laid back, and I'm also kind of like I've got like a high tolerance for him. So it's like it's like where some people might be like sick of him after a while, like I'm not, and what that allows is like we've got a good working relationship. So now we've got times where we can kind of breathe and give each other space, and like no, because he gets like frantic and angry about stuff, and that makes me really laugh. So I'll be like saying things that are going to set him off in that sort of direction, and then we can bring it down, and then he'd be like, oh well, you would say that, and there's that, and then like, well, this is what I would say, and you know, it's like this and this and stuff. But it's a good example of it on my YouTube channel. So if you look on youtube.com/Wob Wob Rob, I was streaming a game called Drink More Glurp, and it's like a physics-based Olympics game.
Right.
And
I've watched that video. Yeah, it's really funny.
It's such a stupid game, and it was great company to have. And we had fun editing it as well. And so I'm already in a pretty good double act on the radio. Nice. But if it was just anyone, it would be someone I'd just like to meet. Probably so just any good comic, I guess. Or
go on, give me a specific one.
Let's go for... Do you know what? Like, someone like Chris Rock or someone like that big. Like Eddie Murphy or someone. Yeah. And like, just because like...
You're not concerned that there'd be too big of a personality
it wouldn't matter. The radio show? I wouldn't be like, this is going to be... It would just be me fanboying.
You'd be that guy on their show.
Yeah, I'd be like a fan of the show who luckily got a guest on the radio show, and then it would
Tim
just be
Key
the Eddie.
To Alan Partridge.
Yeah, but like Tim Key's great. I mean, I like if I was trying to make a good radio show, I'd probably get someone like Tim Key, just because his energy is so.
He's just incredible.
He could make nothing funny.
Yeah,
just a look or just a reaction with like a one word reaction. and it's just awkward placement, and it's like it's not even calculated. It's just he's just got such a good awareness of what he's about, and like he knows if he doesn't know what he's doing, he'll know exactly how to just style it out into something even bigger than if he actually knew what he was doing. So yeah, let's say Tim Key. But if I just want to meet, I just want like an A-list Hollywood celebrity. Just like let's get him in my house, see what happens.
Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy, why not?
Right, let's finish on this one, because it's one of my favourite questions that I've come up with. If you were going to have a tattoo of a barcode of any product, what barcode would you get tattooed on you?
That's interesting. I mean, would it work?
Yeah, it'd have to work.
So it'd have to be in a situation where if you scan it, you could like be over someone's shoulder. So one person's going to the trolley, putting the item on the trolley, and then it's scanning, and then they're going back to the trolley, and you're like, it's got to be self-service, isn't it? So it's got to be a tattoo where you can randomly add things on the sly without your guess.
That's how you
knowing.
want to use it, is it?
That's how I'd want to use it. So bearing that in mind, the question then becomes like, what do I want to secretly add to people? And I think maybe just something that costs 0p for starters.
Yeah.
So it's not like a big deal.
So I don't think that's a thing.
Well, you can program barcodes. Barcodes can be programmed.
Yeah, that's true.
So
but would shops necessarily pick those up?
Depends where you program it.
You could have something like universal that is. See, I'd like to do something. If you're going to use it on a self-service,
maybe apples, right?
Apple's a good one.
So just an apple, and then it'll be like boop boop, and you just sneak in the odd, like so many apples.
Yeah.
Try and sneak it on about like 10 or 20 times during the exchange.
But if it's self-service, then it's like weight based on the till. So like you could get something really light. Like,
all right,
like a packet of rainbow drops.
A 3-pack of apples, right? Like already packaged, already weighed.
You would still notice that weight. That is.
Yeah, but but it's like pre-packaged anything, like pre-packaged chicken. Like you're not weighing the chicken every time. So you could buy free vacuum packed apples. The genius of this one is that it's not destroying the environment by actually existing. In this case, I'm just scanning it through, and then they'd have this big long receipt. And they'd be like, "Holy crap! Like what's going on here?" And I'm like, "How do you like them apples?" And then that's all it would be.
There we go.
We got there.
Very nice.
It's too hot for this.
Yeah, it really is. It's very warm indeed. Well, thanks very much for coming on, man. It's been really fun.
Yeah, sorry, I've had a lovely time.
Thanks for having me in your lovely house.
Yeah, I mean, you basically used to live here, didn't you? Like just
as
neighbours.
The building opposite. Yeah, you'd be able to see into my living room from your balcony.
Well, welcome back. It's like the block's missed you.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I've missed it. Right. So, is there anything you want to plug?
Oh yes, please. So anything with Wob Wob Rob, I am on it. So it'll be Twitter, YouTube, Twitch. Going to be streaming a lot more. Twitch.tv/Wob Wob Rob. Wob Wob Rob is on Spotify if you want to hear my music. YouTube, all my music's on there as well as other fun stuff. And that is pretty much it. I'm building a website, but I don't even think people use websites much anymore these days.
They do a bit.
But like for me, nah.
Yeah.
It's like, go on my Bandcamp and buy some music. If you
Yeah.
really want to support, buy music. Not just me.
You got any of your old band stuff on there?
Quite. Yeah. I mean, there's Power of Voodoos out there and
Okay,
stuff, and Chatnabrano and Goza stuff, but. It's not really me now. It just influences my new stuff, my new direction. You know, always be moving forward.
Yeah.
But yeah,
moving forward to a place where you're wondering what belch sounds best.
Why? Well, it's a belch in D sharp more satisfying.
Nice.
Cool.
Let's to hit the off button.
Oh yeah. Bye. I forgot this is my studio. I have the power. Hang on. What I do want to.
So that was Rob Glenister, a lovely guy. I've known him for years. Go and check out his work. It's brilliant. Also go and check him out online. You could just find him everywhere. He's at Wob Wob Rob. Wob Wob Rob. It's hard to say. Wob Wob Rob. If you want to show your appreciation for the shows that I bring you, I appreciate I've had a little break, but I'm back now. And if you do want to show your appreciation for that, then please absolutely feel free to just pop on over to kofi.com/Si-Deaves. Drop us a little bit of money because it all goes back into the show and sort of pays for tea bags and hosting and that sort of thing. So yeah, I just really appreciate it. Helps me keep going. But if not, if you can't afford it, that's absolutely fine. This is here for you to enjoy for free. But if you enjoy what you hear and you do want to donate, you go ahead and do so. I'll be back next month, or, like I say, at some point, with Matt Green, who, if you don't know who he is, go and check out what he's done. He's got a brilliant career. I really enjoy a lot of his work. Very funny man indeed. So I'll see you with that episode soon. And in the meantime, drink tea, be good to each other. I love you. Goodbye.